Right then, people. There we are. Ta-da! So, it's not the first Thursday of this month. It's obviously the second, and immediately I get a sub. Sweet. Thank you very much, Mr. Benji. So, no early rust or rotation today. When does it happen? No idea. So, let's just roll on from what I was talking about yesterday, because I actually turned it into a video. Usual Wednesday abnormal skin assessment. That's normally how I look at things just before we do abnormal buy orders and whatnot. Like, how are things behaving at the moment? So I'll do a quick refresh. Is SCM up to date? It is not. Sweet. So that's annoying. But we can still kind of figure out what to do in regards to what we see here. Because 7 of the skins that we see here were abnormal. Meaning they've already appeared. They've been on the market for about 16 hours now. And I can show you right here. So this is the current rust store and it hasn't rotated. So we'll just take a real quick look and see all of the skins that appeared last night. Because there's, as you can see right now immediately, you might notice, this is looking pretty interesting, isn't it? You can buy this from the rust store right now for $2.49. The highest buy order goes all the way up to $2.39. Now, we care more about the big fat buy orders. The buy orders are going all the way up to $2.30. This is looking fairly promising. Now, we also should take a look and see. At the moment, it looks like this is probably only going to reach up to around maybe 23,000 sales each. But what we also need to take into consideration is there's a lot of private accounts that aren't being tracked by SCM that would have probably bought 1,000 or 2,000. You never know. You get the idea. So, all in all, I'm thinking we're fairly matched up with the black gold hoodie and pants in terms of total sales, in terms of total circulation. Things are looking okay. Now, the gloves as well. Gloves, yeah, I'm pretty sure they've reached 20k. But, as I said, gloves aren't always as in demand. As you know, it's usually the core parts that tend to spike up in price more when more core parts appear. And we're still waiting for the potential black gold tier 2 to appear. When might it appear? Maybe next Monday? Maybe the Monday after that? I don't fully know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be the next wipe day. Just a guess. So, that is looking to be doing quite well in terms of numbers sold and the buy order build up. Both of the pieces of the armour have very nice buy order build up support. Looking very good. I was very satisfied with what I've seen. I've left it 16 hours. A little bit more has appeared. I'm going to sit here and say it looks totally fine to buy. And with that, what account did I buy it on? Oh, here, sorry. Didn't know where I was. My kid's screaming. Yeah, 30 each. I bought 30 of the face masks and 30 of the chest plates. I left it until about an hour ago. And remember, there's a 48-hour period where I can refund that if I feel iffy. If things start to look a bit, oh, I don't know, maybe I should refund it, I can. I can refund it after 48 hours. So on Saturday at around 6 o'clock, that's my deadline. Make sense? I've got a reasonable amount of time to take a look and see whether or not it's being dumped. And then I can make a decision whether or not I should remove them. So, yeah, that's looking fairly good. I'm happy, I'm satisfied with what I see, and I went ahead and bought 30 of each. Much like with the clothing, I bought 30 each of that as well. So, black gold is looking good. Let's wait and see what happens in the near future. Because as I said, and I will point this out once more, it took like 3-4 weeks for the tier 3 to appear, and people who had all the clothing, they got impatient, they didn't understand how things were likely going to play out, they didn't understand the 3-week time frame. So I've mentioned this before, haven't I? This will be uploaded as a video soon. It's been cleaned up, looks a whole lot nicer, so in the near future you will see this in a video, and it will explain everything in regards to the 3-week time frame. So, if you aren't fully aware, there's usually a 3-week time frame for how likely a skin will be accepted. So, it could appear on the Monday and get immediately accepted. it could appear on a Monday, but next week it gets accepted into the TGG collection, is shown in a TGG video, and then gets accepted. That'll be the typical acceptance. That's what you usually see with skins. But what did we see happen to the Black Gold Tier 3? It was a late pick. So it was the week after the typical acceptance period. But as I said, I assumed, and I guess I might be right, they held it back for Wipe Day because they thought Black Gold would sell a whole lot better for Wipe Day, as in better profit potential. So, yep, if you understand this, you would have realised there was still some time, still a good chance that we would see Black Gold Tier 3 appearing. And I'm guessing quite a lot of people gave up and they dumped their clothing. So the clothing kind of went up and down and up and down. It was very volatile for a while. But the very second we saw this appear last week, jumped up in price. And if you remember, I did an extra buy order immediately because I knew this would jump up in price. The clothing jumped up in price. My apologies, I got that wrong there, didn't I? But you understand what I'm talking about. Pre-existing core pieces spike up in price when new pieces appear. We are now waiting for the potential Tier 2. So let's just wait and see what happens there, okay? Some people who own own quite a lot of the Tier 3, you might see them sell their stock and whatnot if we're waiting for too long. But I would sit here and say I'm very confident that we're going to be seeing that Tier 2 appearing in the near future. Again, probably going to be the beginning of next month. So let's just see how it all plays out. Now over here we have the med storage. And you know what? It's actually looking reasonably okay as well. If I really wanted to spend some money, I'd probably buy a bunch of these as well. But I am cautious. It's the second half of the storage collection, as in I expect this to have about 18 in total. I think this is like number 13. I mean, I could quickly check, can't I? So if we're expecting around 13, no, this is number 12. Today, the new one today will be number 13. Unlucky number 13? We'll find out. But usually, with a storage set, the later half don't get as much investment into them, and they might lose their value quickly. But as we've seen very, very recently, graffiti storages have been going up very nicely. Some of them, the ammo and the component storage have been pumped. So if you're wondering why they've jumped up in price recently, someone's come along, bought out all the quantity. They've been pumped. So in the near future, you're probably going to be seeing a whole bunch of them appearing up for sale. Now we've got the gloves. Now I did talk about the gloves very briefly. I'll double down. So with the gloves, these are selling for $1.99, right? The buy order build up went all the way up to $1.60 yesterday, and it's now got extras. Do you know what? Actually, no. I think I'm going to keep what I have. I've got like a $1.60 buy order. I feel like I'm more than happy to just stick with the buy order. I think we might see some dumping over the course of maybe the next week or two. But when we see that Tier 2 appear, when we see that Tier 2 Black Gold appear, I reckon they'll jump back up and be steady ever since. The very second we see Tier 2, I'm pretty sure this will go up in price and it will hold. It will be stable at a price that's probably going to be around maybe $2.50 plus, I reckon, for a good reasonable amount of time. And as time goes on, we'll probably see it be in the same position as what the blackout gloves are currently at. Blackout gloves are currently $4, even though they're sold 50,000. They're at $4 because they're part of an important, well-liked, in-demand set. So Black Gold being interchangeable, I think this is going to be all right in the long term, but I just wouldn't imagine it would go higher than $4. Blackout has that position, so we shall see. You're sitting there saying gloves is Tier 2. No, I'm talking about the vest, the coffee can, and most importantly, the kilt. Alright, Mr. Disaster? I'm referring to the kilt, because the very best armour setup you have is Tier 3 with the kilt, and then the clothing, the hoodie and the pants. That's usually the best roaming around gear that you can have, because people don't really use the vest and the coffee can. They do use them, but in terms of the absolute best to run around with, you're going to use Tier 3 kilt and clothing. So that's what I'm referring to. Yeah, you got gloves, but gloves and boots just aren't as important in terms of investing. That's what I've noticed. So tier 3 is the chest plate and the face mask. That's what I'm talking about. What we've just had. That. I'm just talking to Mr. Disaster, one of the viewers. Say hello, chat. Hello. So we've been here for about, what, 10 minutes now? Let's just get through all the rest of this. So, med storage looking good. I would buy some, but I already have spent some money today, so I'm just going to leave it for now. Gloves are looking fine. I'm going to leave it as is. I've got a nice buy order down. I'm pretty sure I will be buying some with the buy order. Now we've got the JPEG LR. This is currently selling for $2.99 in a Rust store. The highest buy order build... Oh, yeah, it's only really going up to $1. This isn't looking good. This isn't looking good. The highest reasonably thick buy order is $1.54. Yeah, that's not staying $2.99, is it? I would not be surprised if this goes down to about $2 in about... well, within 4 weeks. Unless JPEG as a whole collection really gets somewhere and suddenly gets a whole lot more demand, I don't see a bright future for this LR300, because LR300s, they're not very easy to come by in game. Low gun demand, low demand to use the skins, low skin prices. So, very simple. And then you've got the Pixel Satchel Charge. This is a $1.99 skin. The buy orders go only up to about $1. That's not good. And I did try to figure out some reasoning behind why do Satchel Charge skins not do so well. The best answer I can think of is, well, you don't really have it. You don't really have the Satchel Charge for long, do you? And when you're running around with it, you're not going to be holding on for it for that long, are you? You're going to throw it at a door, and then it's going to go kaboom. And that's that. So, yes, some of them do rather well, but they tend to be older. Yeah, I think this is going to drop down to about $1.50, much like the comics one. So, realistically, in the short term, I could very easily see this get dumped and it would go down to about $1. So, keep an eye on it. It's going to lose value. It is. And now we have the reinforced armored door. Oh, mouse speaking too quickly before the brain can think. So, as we can see right here, it is the 8th armored door skin that we've had in all of 2022. That's not good. We've had far too many armored door skins this year. Oversaturated with options, I guess you could say. What's the word? Yeah, we could say that, yeah. Far too many options have appeared, and far too many of them appeared earlier this year, like consecutively. So there was one instance where 3 skins appeared 1 week after the other. I don't know why Facepunch are doing this. That caused all of the armored door skins to become, like, worthless. There was far too many that came out. Their prices all stagnated and went down because, well, they're all keeping each other bottlenecked. And now armored door skins aren't a rare sight to see anymore. They're fairly common. And because of that, the new skins always usually suffer. So, but it's a glow-in-the-dark skin. And we've already seen like 3 of them go down in price and they'll glow in the dark. You know what? I can show you. I've already talked about it, but, you know, can't hurt to just quickly show it off. So yes, if we look at the newest, they're all suffering. I'm talking from 2022, so Hellgate Armored Door, glow in the dark, 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 all bad. Now, Outer Planets is only slightly down by 2%, so not so bad there. Armored Door from Hell, we looked at this last night. It's a $4 skin, but the highest buy order is only up to about $3. Yeah, its fate is sealed. It's now selling for $3.10. There you go. Honestly, this should have been held back for October. That's where it would have thrived. That's where it would have flourished. Maybe the Armored Door from Hell skin might jump up in price for October. Let's see. Just an assumption. So, that is all of the abnormals. Yeah, I've bought 60 skins, 30 of these, and with everything else, I'll just stick with the buy orders. What might we see today? So, over here, I believe it is the last chance to see the Target clothing. So if you recall, over here, Target clothing came out 2 weeks ago, so it didn't appear as an early skin, it didn't appear as a typical skin. This is the late chance, so now it's a late skin. Target clothing has this week, this rotation. If it doesn't appear today, it very likely will not be appearing any other time. Maybe complete the sets. I wouldn't cross my fingers. But I just want to try and show you what it is, so I can just verify. And here, so just to over here. Can you please show me your clothing? Over here. Here we are. So Target hoodie, Target pants, 26th of July. That was over here. So 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's a late pick. It's a late pick if it gets accepted today. Now, alternatively, we do have the Skullkiller clothing. So Skullkiller over here, that appeared this week. That would be an early pick. So if we see Skullkiller today, that will be an early pick. Will we see it? I mean, I hope. I'm invested in all of them, so I can't lose. So yeah, Skullkiller hoodie and pants has appeared. They appeared literally 4 days ago. Has a good chance. Maybe it might not be today. Maybe it'll be next week or the week after that. We shall see. And then low poly. Low poly is potentially going to get its tier 2. So low poly is probably... Yeah, so that would also be an early pick. Because low poly tier 2 appeared this week. There's also 2 versions. One with, one's got writing on it and one doesn't. So I'm not sure what's happening. No text version. And then, he removed his other kilt. Alright, whatever. So yeah, that's the most important part. And it appeared 3 days ago. So, 3 collections to look out for today. What do you reckon it's going to be? I don't know. I'm hoping for Target, because it would be nice to see some more grey clothing. But, I'm down for either. I'm not too fussed about low poly. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But it would be nice to see all of this jump up in price. And, yeah. So don't forget, workshop. The workshop is one of the best ways to quickly find out if the rust rotation has happened. We were a bit slow to realise new skins appeared last time, didn't we? So you can keep refreshing this if you want. Eventually you'll see new skins, because this is the accepted section. So when you see new skins, you realise, oh, new skins equals new rust rotation. That's what it means. We also have my server that has the SCMM bot. Wow, there you go. So every now and then, SCMM on Thursdays, when the rust rotation has happened, it will upload all of these definitions, and then it will tell you with proper pictures and pricing all of the new skins. So that was last week, as you can see. And yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and there was an update yesterday for the trophy. So, trophy watch. Wow. So some people actually went ahead and still bought some trophies yesterday. Even though I warned people, I tried my best. Look, here's the problem. It's very obvious what went wrong. The video talking about the trophy, when it first became to light that it was a mistake, it was broken, it shouldn't have appeared, that got over 2,000 views. Then me clarifying that no, you should not buy the Rivals trophy, it only got 100 views. So I can see where things might have gone wrong. Oh, how many views do I have now? 107. Yes! Right. Awesome. So yeah, I don't think I managed to get my word out fast enough. Someone on my server sold one. He sold it for about $40. So I put word out and I said, don't do it, don't buy it, and people still bought it. So some people have actually removed their listings. Oops. And yeah, some of them have been bought. Now, we're still confused because we think we saw one be listed yesterday, and we still don't fully know how that happened. The best answer I can give, the guy who managed to list it, he attempted to list it maybe during the period of time when it was marketable, and then the patch came through, but he never verified it on his phone. So what likely happened was he verified it after the patch went through, and somehow it still counted to be listed on the market. That's what I'm assuming. It's the best answer I have. So yeah, don't buy this. You're losing your money. It's immediately non-tradable, and non-marketable. And some people are probably going to say, oh, but it gives you 100 comfort. But it's free. You can get it for free by watching the Twitch thing. It's free. Now, I wouldn't be surprised with what's happened here and everybody making a fuss that this gives 100 comfort. I wouldn't be surprised if Face Punch patches it and removes the comfort. I wouldn't be surprised. But, yeah, let's see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Twitch Rivals trophy in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if we managed, if they drop it again in the future. So, don't buy this. It's not worth it. It's not worth $50. If the very second you buy it, it's going to always be non-marketable, non-tradable. You have lost your $50, okay? I can only warn you so many times. Right then, gentlemen. So, one quick refresh once more, and nope, still hasn't updated. So, I believe I've talked over everything for you. Are we going to see Target? Are we going to see Skullkiller? Are we going to see low poly? Are we going to see something new? Are we going to see a week with no armour or clothing? That'd be awkward, wouldn't it? Right, so I've got my links nice and ready. If you're wondering how I managed to get the links for all of the regular skins, and first of all, what are the regular skins? It's going to be the Comics Crossbow, the Cardboard SMG, and the Molotov Wooden Door. So those will only appear when the Rust Door rotates. They don't have a link, they are not abnormal. I got my links from here. SCMM, always very helpful. Copy, paste, send to the chat. And all you have to do is just click Marketplace. Ta-da! I've got a Comics Crossbow link now. He's gone fast, isn't he? So, yeah. That's that. So I've got my links nice and ready. I can do my buy orders the very second the Rust Door rotation happens. I'm all nice and set up. Let's see how much funds I got. Looks pretty good. Can't complain. So, all I've got to do now is wait. So, does anybody have any quick questions? Doesn't look like there's anything that needs to be said. You might be questioning, oh wait, hang on a minute. How much should I offer for the crossbow? And the SMG? And the wooden door? Well, let's do that real quickly then. So, crossbow skins. So far this year, we've only had like 4. 2022 has had... No, I'm wrong. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 crossbow skins. Right. Cardboard immediately did bad. I don't think people really care much for the cardboard set. Comics has been quite successful. As you can quickly go and see, Comics collection, we bring it all up, wabam. Quite a lot of it has done rather nicely, some of it not so much. The Comics bow did very nicely. The crossbow, I reckon it will be profitable, but I don't think it will be profitable in the short term. With the amount of sales that we've had in comparison to all of the other recent ones that have come out, from what we can see here, that only had 7,000. This had 15,000, but it glowed in the dark. But whether you think glow-in-the-dark weapons are good or bad, it's up to you. It looks like people just didn't want it. Military crossbow only had 7,000. I reckon maybe but Pixel crossbow only had 6,000 sales. It's hard. Maybe Heartstrings, very colourful, very bright, very similar in terms of amount sold. Maybe Heartstrings is the best one to compare to. So this went through the market dip. How many of them on the market? Let's just take a look. Only 40. That's good. That's fine. But is there still demand? Is there any dumping? So the buy orders go all the way up to about $1.50. 1, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 of them are below the Rust Door price. This could very easily jump back. It seems to have at least maintained its price. Yes, it's down by 20 cents. Only 5 of these are below the Rust Door price. I think the Comics crossbow is actually going to do all right in the long term. I reckon you could do $1 to $1.50. Yeah, I think you're going to be totally fine. Remember, people who play in the snow biome, people who like to wear full whiteout. Yes, I could see that having a nice future. Yes, all right, $1 to $1.50. So if you want to be bold, more aggressive, offer a $1.50. Sound good? It doesn't look like it sold that much. Definitely looks like Black Gold took all the attention. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's sold that much. Again, you can always check the workshop, see the subscriptions. This has had 13,700 subscriptions. So you got to remember, subscriptions does not take into account duplicate sales. I reckon we've had about 15,000 sales almost, I reckon. Yeah. I reckon this is going to be fine. It's definitely going to have a home for everybody that makes a base in the snow areas of maps. Full white with the white crossbow. Yeah. I reckon $1, $1.50. Now we've got the cardboard SMG, buddy. Guys, $1. Yeah. Cardboard collection doesn't seem to be popping off, I guess you could say. All the newest recent card SMG skins, yeah, not good. So max $1. And as you know, metal, you can always turn it into metal. Metal always sells for around $1. So at the cheapest it can be, it'll always be $1, no matter what. And then the wood door skin, well, all I've got to do is quickly show you all of the recent wood door skins. Down 32, down 42, down 50, down 37, down 21. This isn't super bright and colourful. It's just had around 11,000 sales. If this went down to $1 immediately, maybe play it safe and only offer up to about 80 cents. 80 cents is probably your best bet. Wood door skins aren't reliable investments. In fact, what's the cheapest one? 92 cents. So 80 cents would be probably the best offer you could get. That's always going to be okay to be able to sell them back. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah. Right then, so with all the context put out, my theorising thrown out there, maybe we can just wait for when the rust door rotates. So again, remember, we don't know when it happens, we just know it's Thursday. It's whenever Face Punch gets round to it. So with that, gentlemen, right. Show me some new skins. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Oh, we got armour and clothing. Oh, double. Right. So remember this. 76, 82, and 44, 78, 99, 107. Remember that because I've got to do buy orders real quickly. So let's just quickly see what we got. So Trip actually got his pistol to go through as well. Camouflage net door. What? I guess we're doing that now. Oh, do you remember the rugs? Was he the same guy? It is. We're going to get 3 different versions of this. That's going to be a moneymaker then. Why isn't it clothes? It should have been clothes. Right, so very nice set of skins. Let's do our buy orders. So back in a bit. Cool. Hello, secret to everybody. The forest camouflage net will stonk because of the door. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a very good idea. No, it's already expensive. That's not a bad shout. That is not a bad shout. I want to keep an eye on that. That's actually something worth looking up. Thank you for that. Camouflage. Right. Okay. How about you up here? No? Okay. So I did the buy order there, I did the buy order here, the SMG isn't appearing, I'll be honest with you, I'm not that fussed. So someone just appropriately pointed out that we should actually keep track of these. Why? Well, with that new special door that we've just seen, this might get a new lease of life. People are probably going to want to cover their bases in these rugs all over again. It's already expensive though. How much is it? $8. So if you aren't aware, earlier this year, I can't remember his name. If you can remind me, chat, the ever so helpful chat right here, can someone quickly remind me who was the guy that made a whole bunch of videos earlier this year showcasing how to camouflage your base? William, right, so William, he did a very nice video where he showcased how you can hide your base in the forest and whatnot, which of course you could then do in the desert and the snow area. He basically showed off covering his entire base in the grassy rug right here, how to camouflage it in the forest. It proved to be very successful because as you can see right here, after that video came out, it went and jumped up in price, and then it went jumped up even more. So yeah, this used to cost hardly anything, cost about $3, and now it costs $8. And as we've just seen, we've just had a very interesting door be accepted today. Well, I can't see it here at the moment, but we can see it over here. Not the trophy. Don't forget about the trophy. So we're back over to here, August 11. We now have this extra special looking camouflage net door. It might cause the rugs to go up in price because, well, first of all, this would justify the green camouflage net to go up in price, the forest one. But speculation would lead other people to believe, well, surely we're going to get an Arctic door and a desert door, so people start anticipating. Oh, what? I don't care about that. So people start anticipating, and they're going to assume, yeah, surely we're going to get an Arctic door and a desert door as well. So that's something in the pipeline, something for us to keep an eye out for. So cool, yeah. So 99 quantity. Let's see how much is going to disappear over the course of maybe the next 10 to 20 minutes, because you know I'm going to talk a lot now, don't you? It's going to happen. So let's just finish off with this last buy order. I guess not. I guess we'll just forget about you then, Cardboard SMG. Right then, gentlemen, what do we have over here? We have 9 skins this week, and of course we have the continuation. Well, actually, no, this is the final part of the low poly set. We also have the continuation of the Skullkiller. So, if you recall, with our 3-week time frame, what is everything here? I want to find out if they're early, typical, late. So this appeared just a few days, literally 2 days ago, right? So this is very early. This is early. This is early. This is early. 10th of August. Yeah, oh, that was the different version. 8th of August. Yeah, early. It's all early. Not a single skin was typical or late. It was all early. I'm not complaining. We got to see Skullkiller appear. Right, I want to copy this. So look at this, 7682. Look what it turns into. 7682 is now 5962. It's happening, buddy. It's happening. So I might have to jump in and do an extra buy order, because everybody's going to buy them, but I don't think people are going to be doing buy orders. So let's just quickly get onto that. Hello there. That's nice. Cool. So, just did that real quickly. Did an extra buy order on the chest plate and on the face mask, because I can see them doing very nicely in the near future. Oh, people want their prediction points. We did see it before 9:30. Yes, we did. All right. Are you happy, chat? Are you satisfied? So, yeah. Earlier, literally about an hour ago, I had this. I refreshed it once more, so it didn't change much. It's only started to change now. 7682. One quick refresh, 62.59. That's what it is now. That is the reactionary nature of the Rust economy, because now people realise, oh, are we going to get a complete set? Do you know what? I didn't actually look at the low poly set. So 44, 78, 99, 107. I'm not sure if this is going to bounce up as much, because I don't think this has as much investment. So 44, 77, 92, 107. Clothing might go higher. No, it hasn't budged. People don't want it. Wow. Okay. So I guess we can't call you anything anymore. You'll just be the yellow one. Anyway, so what we're going to see, what we're going to do. Actually, let's just see if the SMG appeared. It's appeared. Let me sort this out, then we'll talk about it. So one thing with SCMM is it will actually be able to point out to you what is abnormal. Because as you can see here, this says it's marketable. This says it's marketable. That says it's marketable. Yeah. This has just appeared, but it says it's marketable. That's usually an indication that it's abnormal. That means the hoodie, the pants, the armour, and the Nightwatch SAR are not abnormal. Oh, that means I've got to sit around and wait to do buy orders next week. Damn. Alright. No worries. Let's just stick with what we got right here. So, quick refresh. quick refresh and we can quickly see what's already being bought. The tool storage is being attacked. That looks cool. People jumping straight onto Skullkiller. So yeah, Skullkiller is going to be our first proper navy blue set. I know we had Azul, but Azul's still kind of bright. Skullkiller is better off at night time, I would say, but it still kind of reflects light. But, you know, personal opinion. Anyway, so we got to keep an eye on this. There was something I was worried about last time. Not last time, what was I saying? We have to keep an eye on the amount of sales these had, because the one worrying thing was, will Skullkiller end up like Berserker? If you recall with Berserker started off with tier 3. I can show you. And what happened was the Berserker had like 20,000 sales for the tier 3, 20,000 for the face mask, and just over 19,000 for the chest plate. The problem being was, even though this was the first ones to come out, all of the other main pieces, as you can see right here, they only had around 12,000 sales. So even though this was first, it was oversaturated in comparison to this lot. Do you notice a problem? A potential problem that could happen to Skullkiller. So just pointing that out to you right now. We need to keep an eye on how many of these sell. Again, I'm going to sit there and tell you, you need to wait until Wednesday. Wait till Wednesday, then see. I mean, these aren't abnormal either, so that's also a problem. We don't have abnormal time advantage. But still, we can keep an eye on how many have sold. So if we're Wednesday or Thursday and we look at them and they only have about 17,000 sales, that would perfectly align up to these two. That would be fine. That would be cool. And we know there is definitely spike potential still, because we still are waiting for the tier 2. Much like what's just happened with the low poly. Low poly's just got its final pieces. The main core piece right here is what I'm talking about. You need the kilt to complete the set for all the best parts. So low poly over here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the kilt sells more than these two, as per usual. That's just normal. I like that they didn't include the writing. That's a +1. Alright, so that's cool. I like that. We're going to show these off on Saturday, and I want to really get a good look at that, because I feel like that looks really nice. It's going to look awkward with these two, though, isn't it? You're going to have a coloured kilt, but these two are grey. That doesn't look too good, does it? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, so these are all 99 cents, and usually that's perfectly okay. So when you look at all of the kilts, for example, very rare is it to see a kilt go below its rust-all price when it's selling for 99 cents. But we have had instances where this has happened. Bombing kilt was very, 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 very oversaturated. This came out during the offline TV era. Way too many people were around to buy them. It crashed in price very, very badly because, as I said, there were far too many of these bought. Best example of oversaturation. And I'm actually going to do a video in the future talking about this, dumping and oversaturation. Keep an eye out for that. So, then we have Glister Kilt, and Glister Kilt sold far too many in comparison to its other tier 2 and the clothing. So that proved to be a problem because that crashed in price as well. Chocolate Easter Kilt, well, that's just too holiday themed. Holiday themed skins tend to do very badly, so keep an eye out for that. Oxum's Racing Team Pants, people just didn't care for it. Playmaker Kilt, I think that was oversaturated, or people just don't care for the set. It's been a long time. Yeah, so with how generic this looks, probably won't work in its favour. It works well with the tier 2, but it doesn't work well with the tier 3. It's going to look odd with that. Keep an eye out for this. So again, wait till Wednesday. Look at the sales, then make a decision. We're going to show this off on Saturday and get a much better look at these. But this is my answer. Don't consider them until Wednesday. Or Thursday. But this one right here, camouflage net set, is actual. Okay, so I guess that's an actual set now. Yeah, this is going to have a home because that's immediately going to pair up with that. William might make another video showcasing this again. He could if he wants to, but yeah, these have proven to be a successful investment, all thanks to William. If he makes another video, this will probably do well as well. However, and let me point this out to you, we need to keep an eye on how many of these sell. There's 22,000 of these in circulation. Will there be an equal amount, or will it suffer? Because I must point out to you, we've had plenty of sheet metal door skins come out in the past, and that equals to oversaturation of options. Much like with the AK, we have far too many sheet metal door skins. There can be problems. Now, if I were to show you all the recent skins that have come out for sheet metal door, you can immediately see a bit of a problem. Fire Phoenix metal door sold 24,000. It's down 34%. Everybody liked the design, but it didn't follow through, did it? It didn't stay as a good investment. Quite surprised to see this doing all right. I'm guessing that was probably pumped. Did someone walk in and buy out all the stock? Yeah, I'm looking at that. That's looking like a pump. It looks like a pump. Look at that. So yeah, I'm thinking that's just a pump. So don't be tricked by that. So yeah, sheet metal door skins, they have not been doing well recently. So we have to keep an eye on it. We have to keep an eye on it. That's all that could be said there, unfortunately. Again, wait till Wednesday or Thursday. Now this Nightmare SAR, well, recently, we have not seen SAR skins perform very nicely. It's usually the nice and flashy ones with a nice colour. But Iron Wolf did well. Iron Wolf is doing nicely right now. It's very weird. But we are starting to... It does look like we are starting to get out of this market dip. Prices seem to be improving. Things are starting to look better. You know, this is only down by 4%. This is only down by 7%. That's only down by 2%. JPEG SAR looks like it can go lower. It does look like it's going to go down to about $2. But if I were to just quickly look at all these three, I want to see how much quantity there is on the market and how far off is it to go back up to its rust ore price. Well, there's a 17 there, so that probably caused undercutting, and yeah, so if these disappeared, it would be back up to its price. But yeah, there's a bit of dumping right there, not doing it any favours. Yeah. So that happened. But if you were to look at its history, well, that definitely was a Chinese New Year skin, and it is starting to go up. It is starting to go up. So this is probably signs of, yeah, summer hype's probably happening. Out of the market dip into a summer hype. So maybe that new SAR isn't a bad idea. I'm not seeing any signs of dumping. There was only 27 here. 1, 3, a good 10 skins, and we're back up to $2. So yeah, we're not that far off, guys. Skullkiller, hello, buddy. How are you doing? Yeah, I think Skullkiller weapons are being bought out. I don't think SCM was quick to... No, it was a $2.49 skin. My apologies. I thought it was a $1.99 skin. Even then, it's free. Like 5 of these disappear, and then it's up to $2.50. So that's good. So, yeah. Should probably keep an eye on all those Skullkiller things. I remember when the armour appeared, the AK got pumped in price. It of course went back down, but keep an eye on these things. If you happen to own some of these weapons in your inventories, you might want to keep an eye out. If someone pumps them, sell them. You know, screw it. Pumpers want to pump, help them by selling to them, because they can't usually keep it up. People want to manipulate, well, they've got to spend the money for it. Right, so back to the SAR. $1.99. How do you look? It's nice, sleek, it's black, it's interesting, it's cool. It's got those 2 little red dots. Does it have... Is that... Oh, it's got a nice little red bit there. Maybe. It's got a nice design. We did have the Op SAR. That was pure black. People did use that with blackout when blackout first came out. Was it blackout first, then Op SAR? Anyway, where's Op SAR? It's pure black. Looks cool. There it is. Op SAR has green. Hasn't gone up in price insanely. But this is probably the best thing I can compare to. Almost $4. And as you can see, it's got the green tip. Yeah, it's got the green tip. Helpful. So yes, I like the design of this new SAR. I reckon it would do quite alright. But again, wait till Wednesday. We need to see how many sell. If it sells maybe 10, 15,000, I wouldn't be too surprised. And as we saw with the Iron Wolf SAR, even that went up in price. It was a nice design, a nice looking gun, a nice looking skin. It should be alright. It should be alright. And now we go to the easiest thing, the graffiti tool storage. Well, all of the graffiti storages are starting to go up in price. People seem to be taking turns with pumping up a storage. Wood has been pumped, guns has been pumped, ammo has been pumped, components has been pumped. Literally the very second the Rust door rotated to that one, boom, storage got pumped. It didn't last, but you get the idea. People are kind of taking turns pumping these up. Stone went and back up, sulphur's gone back up, metal went back up. I'm thinking people are realising, well, damn, this is looking like a pretty interesting set that's going to do all right in the long term. It will do all right in the long term. But, be aware. Everything that's been moving up recently has been pumping. People buying out all the stock, waiting a while, then releasing it at a higher price. Is that bad? It's buyout manipulation. You're not... Unless they're advertising people to say, oh, come do this, it's not as bad. Like, to buy out everything because you're rich, I mean, people can do that in real life. It's not fun if you're not rich, but you get the idea. It's just classic buy out everything, wait a while, list it at a higher price. So, tools, I'm pretty sure is going to be fine. Like, every single week we've looked at the buy order build up on all of these, and they've managed to do all right. But we have seen some tendencies where the newest one for a while might go below its Rust door price, and then it goes back up. Realistically speaking, I think it's going to be totally fine. You have no need to worry about tool storage, unless it sells for maybe 40,000. Then we got a problem. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just get the normal 24. Oh, look, it's updated. Oh, did it update? Did last week update now? No, where that did. Huh. Anyway, yeah, that should be fine. If you want to buy it, you can buy it. I don't think it's going to get dumped anymore. I don't see these get dumped anymore. And the No Mercy sap from the No Mercy collection. No Mercy collection is probably the most expensive clothing. $32 for the pants, $25 for the hoodie. Very nice. The armour is doing quite alright. No Mercy, it's been always valuable. People have loved it ever since. The weapons have been okay. The Python didn't do too good. Python isn't doing too good. That's probably the best thing to compare to the sap. Now, let's point out, sap skins, they are a bit awkward at the moment. Chompy, do you remember Chompy? Yeah, the crocodile one that we had quite recently. That's actually in the positive. That's actually doing quite alright. So I'm led to believe that the ones that did badly just simply didn't have the demand. But No Mercy, sap, that's part of a very important set. Also, it's pure white, great for the snowy environments. We just talked about that earlier with the comics crossbow. People like all white in the snow area. People like to be in the snow area. So I could see that being used a lot. Do people like to use the pistol? I mean, it still gets used every day. Still gets used, so yeah, I could see it doing all right. But again, what am I going to say? Let's wait till Wednesday. The only super reliable thing I could imagine doing immediately well is probably these two. But I am cautious about this one. But these two seem to be the safest thing to just straight up buy. This, I would wait on. These, I would only go for the kilt. And even then, you've got to keep an eye out for how many of the kilts sell. So, yeah. And people have been pointing out, didn't we just have the Noir one? Night Watch SAR. No, we didn't have a Noir. Wait, what am I looking at? That's not right. Here we are. Did we have a Noir SAR? Someone put forward a Noir SAR, but it never was accepted. And now we have a very similar style. Are people copying themes? Is that happening? Okay. Oh dear. Right, well, I guess that's been happening for a while regardless anyway. So, nice week to see, and I do believe the Rust store is now here, and I can just quickly verify that all of the armour, the clothing, and the SAR, not abnormal, not abnormal, not abnormal, not abnormal, not abnormal, not abnormal, not abnormal. What about the SAP though? The SAP is definitely abnormal, because it already has a link. Wow. So, this door, this box, and this SAP, abnormal, abnormal, abnormal. Cool. So, 3 skins are abnormal and 6 aren't. Nice. It seems to be a thing that's been going on for quite some time. So, hello to everybody here. I've got quite a lot of people. Remember, I do this every single Thursday. We sit around and wait for that Rust or rotation. Today, we have waited for, what, 2 hours? 2 hours to actually see the Rust or rotation, and now I've been talking. So, in the future, if you want to come along, I always put the details in my YouTube description. All good. But as of now, guys, from what I see here, we really do need to wait and see how much of these sell and then start making decisions. Because we could see an instance where these become oversaturated. Do you remember Copper Set? I just got to show you. You must see the Copper Set. When the Copper Set came out, the clothing, when it appeared, became very oversaturated. And what happened since then? It went down in price. Did not mean to click that. I want you to show me the store so I can show to everybody. Here we are. So, get a quick look at this. Let's take a look at the Copper collection and look at the comparison of amount of sales. So this started off with tier 2 and that had around 26,500 sales, the Copper Kilt. What happened when the clothing appeared? Almost 33,000, 35,000. Clear and obvious oversaturation. And then what happened with the tier 3 when it appeared? Only 21,000. So this became a problem because there's far too many of them that existed in excess. In theory, you could only have around maybe 21,000 proper complete sets of copper, which would leave about 12,000 spare of these. Yeah. So it's not a surprise these are crashed in price. Copper Kilt has held on. We just need to see if Copper Set becomes popular in the summer. Let's just wait and see. But these two, they are going to suffer the most out of all of this lot because they were oversaturated. And we do need to be cautious because it could happen to these two. It could. So I'm sure it helped visualise what I'm cautious about. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. What do I reckon is going to sell the most? I do think it's going to be these two. That are going to be maybe 3rd and 4th. I reckon the store's probably going to steal 2nd. The one thing that I'm worried about is these are selling for 99 cents. They are cheaper than the face mask and the chest plate because that sold for $1.99. This sold for $1.49. But people really did like these two, and I could imagine these would be selling well. I just hope they don't sell too well. And in the near future, hopefully we see tier 2. So let's just go back to here. This is what we started off with earlier. Well, actually, no, we're on to this one, weren't we? So 44, 78, 99, 107. What is it now? 44, 77, 90. Yes, it did go down. It did go down. So reactionary nature of the Rust economy. And I'll copy you. Let's see what you look like now. So over here, 76, 82. Now it's 49.50. Yep. That's cool. We like that. And how many more buy orders do you have? Which one was I? I was here. $2.24. And over here I am $2.08. Now hopefully it holds. I'm pretty sure it could potentially go even further up in price. People will be aware that we're very likely going to get the tier 2 at some point in the future. We'll get the complete set. Much like how we've now completed the low poly set. Because even then, even when something loses a whole lot of attention and just becomes unliked after a whole bunch of time, it still spikes up in price. The very second the next core piece appears. So, let's see the prices of you guys. How much are you selling for right now? 89 cents. Yeah, well, there's not that many in the market, but I'm not sure if the demand is there. I had a problem where I just didn't think people like these. I think it's the clothing that's going to be jumping up a lot better. And even then, that's still below its rustore price. But there's not many of them on the market. We are aware that these were more of these sold. So technically speaking, there's like an excess of 3,000 for each of these in comparison to the clothing. So I wouldn't be surprised if the clothing performs better. But that could very easily jump back up to about $3.40. Yeah, maybe. It could happen. I don't have as much faith into this as I do with Skullkiller, so I don't want to jump in and do an extra buy order. So that's that. We guessed correctly. We fought Skullkiller when we fought low poly. Unfortunately, if you recall, I said this earlier, target was on its last week. It was on the third week to potentially be accepted as a late pick. It didn't happen, unfortunately. That looks like it's the end of Target hoodie and pants being accepted. But we could see a version 2. Yeah, we could. That could happen. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily, it's 100% not going to ever appear. It could appear next week. It's just incredibly unlikely. This is the usual 3-week time frame. So we are going to have a video uploaded with this soon. It was recorded when I was anticipating Black Gold Tier 3. So that worked out alright, didn't it? So once you understand how this works, you're going to properly understand how to approach the workshop and understand the likely times of when something might appear. Sound good? So gentlemen, it was an interesting batch of skins. 2 collections got the pieces they needed. It's quite a lot of clothing, quite a lot of green grade skins, so that's what we like. And we got 2 very interesting deployables. The camouflage set is something we now have to keep an eye out for. So, thank you for watching, and as I said, I do have people here constantly watching me, asking me questions. I'll try and help them out. I haven't spoken to them for about 20-30 minutes, so I need to start talking to them now. So, if you want to pop by, just come to my streams, say hello, and we can work from there. So, now it's 10 o'clock. I need to go eat some food. So, thank you for watching, and let's see what happens for next week.